Hello, everybody. It is I Desire, and today I found a YouTuber known as Harmon Smith who thinks that Baldur's Gate 3 and Warhammer 40k didn't sell well and are terrible games because they're not on the Switch. And if you don't believe me, every game that's ever come on the Switch, he thinks it's the greatest game ever. However, if it's anything else, how dare they not come to the Switch? The Switch is a superior console. It's not, by the way. It's a piece of garbage. If you don't believe me, look at my gameplay of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Wow, that was such a good game. The Pokemon lagged. The screens lagged. I hated that game so fucking much. It pissed me off. Okay, let's get into the video.
I wake up today, check my phone, and what do I see? I see a bunch of YouTubers talking about how I'm done with D&D, I'm done with Wizards of the Coast, I'm done with these art books, I'm done with the price gouging, I'm done with woke stuff in my hobby, right? There were a lot of people like this, Clownfish TV, Happy Console Gamer, Sean Malmstrom, all these people coming out in one voice saying D&D sucks.
Right.
Harmon, they're not saying that D&D sucks. They're saying that using AI for the D&D games is apparently ridiculous. If you don't believe me, here's a little snippet from Dungeons and Dragons from what YouTuber? Clownfish TV, who you fucking said was your person. Now, here we go. Using AI for their D&D games, which is apparently a clear signal that we need to embrace it. And they're saying how it's dead because if you use AI, I didn't even know they were using AI because I haven't played D&D in forever. I've been playing other games. I don't have enough time to play D&D. You have to set aside time. It's a fucking tabletop game. It's a tabletop RPG. I don't have said time. Or you said that fucking what console gamer was the other one? Happy Console Gamer? Really? Happy Console Gamer of all people? Really? Where? Where? We're at a month. I don't see anything related. I don't see anything. So okay. Now let's see Sean Malmstrom. I don't see anything. I don't see anything outside of your fucking takes on him. Wow. Man, Harmon, it's almost like you're lying through your ass again.
And I'm never, ever going to support it again. Barely even 1 year after the release of Baldur's Gate 3, the game of the year for 2023.
Harmon, there's no way that you're still upset about Baldur's Gate 3 getting Game of the Year. That game is literally one of the greatest games I've ever had the pleasure of playing. I will go back and still play that game. And I still go back and play it. I bought it 3 fucking times. I bought it on my PC, I bought it on my Xbox, and I bought it on my PlayStation. Love that game. That game is worthy of it. That game has over 500 hours in of me playing, and I'm still discovering new stuff. Just stop, Harmon. Just stop.
People are.
Harmon, there's no way that you didn't just edit that out. I'm just saying that's crazy. Why not edit that stuff out? You know, CapCut is a free application. That's what I use. Why? Why would you keep your sneezing in it? I don't get it.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
People are making these statements that they're not happy with Wizards of the Coast. They're not happy with the current state of D&D. They're not happy with the game anymore, and they're not really interested in playing it, right? It's gotten so bad, people are pointing to, like, alternatives now, right? D&D is, and has been for quite some time, been on the decline. Game sales are down, art book sales are down. Baldur's Gate 3 sales were not as impressive as initially reported.
Harmon, what are you talking about, guy? It sold over. All right. Oh my god. Here's the fucking Baldur's Gate 3 sales numbers: 7.5 to 20 million units. You know what that means, right? Times that by 7. Okay? What are you talking about, bro? And they had that one fucking guy come out and say that they sold over 10 million. Come on, man. Just come on, dude. Just stop. Just stop. Also, if you think that Baldur's Gate 3 is doing bad now, really? Just now, it's still 81 in. And just for a record, it came out on August 31st of last year. So it's over a year old. And it still has 81,000 people in. And it had 131,000 just 24 hours peak. Which is usually around, what is that? Like after school's out. Huh. Shut your fucking mouth.
Right? I talked about all this before, but what it all amounts to is that Wizards of the Coast is losing relevancy. Even after one of the biggest shill campaigns I've ever seen in my life, to try and force Baldur's Gate 3 into relevancy.
You serious?
Harmon, nobody's forced that game into relevancy. The game was phenomenal. I've played it countless times just to state how much I like that game. That game is fantastic. You can do whatever your heart's desires. You want to kill a companion? Kill the companion. You want to romance a companion? Romance the companion. You want to be some random chick with a beard? Be a random chick with a beard. Who cares? Do what you want, how you want, play how you want. You can do whatever you want in that game. You can kill everybody. Granted, you're going to be really fucked up, but you can kill everybody. It's a possibility. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, bro?
Right. Even after that, even after robbing Super Mario Bros. Wonder of the Game of the Year award. What the fuck?
Harmon, I thought your Game of the Year was Tears of the Kingdom, not Wonder. Why are we changing up now? What's going on? Did you realize that nobody likes Wonder because it's just an okay game? I'm sorry, bro. I'm just sorry. You're too daft.
Even after downplaying Tears of the Kingdom, even after the religious worship of game journalists who really, really wanted to get fucked by that bear.
You really want to piss me off.
Yes, I had a joke about how Bryce liked to fornicate the bear, even though it's not a bear, it's a guy, it's not a rocket science. It's a dude who can morph into said bear, and you can do whatever you want in the game. I don't know how you can be this damn stupid, bro. I just it hurts. It fucking hurts.
The game, the brand as a whole is on the decline. No different than Star Wars, no different than Star Trek, no different than Marvel.
Just stop breathing. I can smell the ammonia from here.
Harmon, you do know that Deadpool X Wolverine just came out this year, and it literally has overseas market 683 million and domestically 621 million, right? That's its box office. It's this highest grossing R-rated film ever. It's a very fantastic film. So, what are you talking about Marvel? I think they're back. Wouldn't you agree? I'm just saying, I mean, the way that it's looking, it looks like they might be back.
Right. D&D, the game that people have been desperately trying to pretend was the progenitor of fantasy. D&D is on the way out, and it couldn't have happened to a more deserving franchise.
It'd be funny if it weren't so pathetic. No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.
Harmon, the only reason that you are throwing a giant fit about D&D is because they refuse to come to the Switch. Everybody knows it. You think that freaking Tears of the Kingdom is better than Baldur's Gate, which I'm sorry, but you're off your rocker. Baldur's Gate is amazing. You can do whatever you want. You can kill NPCs. Can you do that in Tears of the Kingdom? I don't think so. I mean, come on, bro. What are you talking about? The only reason that it's on the way out is because, quote, they are going with AI in their books. Just stop. Just stop.
Right. D&D for the longest time has been used to weaponize the youth against Christians. It's been used to push weird agendas. The sort of people who play D&D are just the most insane, delusional, just out of touch with reality people imaginable.
That was a 70-inch plasma screen TV. So, how can I help you?
Yes, the Christian fanaticals that thought that, every board game and everything was a sin. You are correct. But don't bash my religion. I will not sit there and take it. Also, hating on D&D, really, Harmon? D&D is just a tabletop board game or RPG board game. So, basically, every time you play a video game, you're going against Christianity. Unless it's like about Jesus. That's the thing, man. So, what are you talking about, guy?
And to see their favorite games start to fall by the wayside because of their catering to this audience, it's very satisfying to see, right? People are moving past D&D. They're realizing it's not that great, that it's not that impressive, that it did not invent fantasy or whatever that fanboys are trying to pretend it's accomplished. Like, D&D is not and never has been all that big of a deal.
I will send you to Jesus.
Harmon, if nobody cared about it, then why are you talking about it and throwing such a fit because it's not on your Nintendo platforms? And two, why are you comparing it to your Nintendo games? And three, why are you bringing up when Christians threw a fit about it, like the Christian fanatics and radicals? If it didn't matter, then why are you crying about it? What's the point of the video? God. Oh my God, you're going to make me want to smash my head against the wall. You're so damn stupid.
Right. Zelda has been bigger. Tolkien has been established as a fantasy classic, right? You have all-time myths, like the King Arthur mythos. And D&D rips all of that off, right? It tries presenting itself as the culmination of all fantasy, but the reality is D&D is just a knockoff pastiche product made for and sold to mediocre people who cannot appreciate real, legitimate fantasy and cannot create their own.
Harmon, you do know you can do whatever you want in D&D. You can make whatever you want. I've literally been in certain campaigns where we did basically the story of Witcher in D&D because D&D it just has set rules and you can do whatever you want. You can make your own characters. It's called homebrew. It's phenomenal. I suggest people to do it. It's great. That's why Dimension 20 is such a watched YouTube and fucking, Critical Role and which has Vox Machina, which is phenomenal. Great show. Loved it. But what are you talking about, man? You can do whatever you want in D&D. You can have whatever media you want in D&D. Are you out of your mind?
Right. D&D is for losers, and it always has been. And to see people flailing around, people like Spoonie who name their dogs after D&D concepts, like Thaco. What? Thaco. You're really gonna after poor Oreo died in the most unfortunate way imaginable, Spoonie is gonna name his replacement Thaco. Doesn't that really just show you just how warped and twisted these people actually are, right? When you actually look at what these people do, how they obsess over past D&D campaigns.
How about I sit here until you fall asleep?
Harmon, you constantly obsess over old games. You're still bringing up Super Mario Bros. Wonder and Tears of the Kingdom and Baldur's Gate because they all hurt your feelings because they're not on the Nintendo Switch. Oh no. Whatever will you do? Probably keep crying because it's just what you do. It's sad. It's very sad, to be honest. Now, I don't understand where you get off and think that, oh, because he named an animal after a game where you can create the characters, that's a bad thing. But here's a little statement there, Harmon. I named a dog Medusa because she's adorable and has the most cute face I've ever seen, and it's the reason why I got her. And I named another dog Kirby because she ate all my drywall. Would you get mad at either of those names? Probably not. Who would have thought?
How they like complain about player stereotypes, how they try and apply real world concepts to fantasy, right? You know, how they try to pretend like orcs are black people or any of the weird subculture things that have come out over the years. Like the delusional way in which they tried to downplay The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom in favor of Baldur's Gate 3.
In any other circumstance, you might have had a point there. Except my boss is a woman, I was a chick in the 40s, I hate everyone equally, and there's no one alive who could comprehend my sexual preference. So in other words, Miss Vadwinkle, check your privilege.
Harmon, you did not just say all that just because you're still mad that Tears of the Kingdom didn't get it over Baldur's Gate, even though Baldur's Gate is a landslide better. You did not, you crazy motherfucker. You do know that you can do whatever you want in Baldur's Gate 3. You can kill freaking NPCs that are a major plot point to the plot. Like a major point. You can kill them. I think you can even be a mind flayer. Like, what are you talking about, bro?
Right? Like, when you really think about that, that was the most insane thing ever, right? We've already seen over the past year that Baldur's Gate 3 has completely faded from the public consciousness, right? We all know about the bots. We all know about how the sales numbers were fake. We all know like the critics were bought and paid for. That
You done goofed.
Harmon, you wouldn't be crying and saying that if it was on the Switch. We already know it. You haven't even played the game. Now, let's just state this. If they are bots, why are there still 86,000 people playing it right fucking now? Right fucking now, there's people playing it. In the middle of the day, on a school/work day, over 86,000 people. What are you talking about? Baldur's Gate 3 is an amazing game. And the critics got paid for? Give me a fucking break.
Jeff Keighley is a complete shill. Like, just look at how he's handling the PS5 Pro reveal, right? Like, everybody's clowning on him for, like, addressing the very obvious fact that he's shilling a product by being excited for the PS5 Pro.
Harmon, you constantly shill over Nintendo. Don't believe me? Oh, this game is better just because it's on the Switch. Just stop it, Harmon. Oh, it actually really fucking hurts at this point. It's starting to really hurt my brain having to fucking hear your voice and state that, oh, he's a shill, but I'm not, because Nintendo's it's just better, okay? Too bad the Switch can't even get 30 FPS on the latest Pokemon, but that game was so good. It was such a phenomenal game. It was terrible, by the way.
But, like, you know, the same people failed to acknowledge the reality that he was doing the exact same thing for Baldur's Gate 3, right? The CRPG genre is not something by its nature that could compete with, like, any Nintendo game.
Harmon, if it can't contend, then why did Baldur's Gate get Game of the Year? Oh, because it can contend. Why is Baldur's Gate one of the highest selling multiplayer games? Huh. It seems like it can contend. Also, when's the last time Nintendo's won a Game of the Year thing? I can't even remember. Odd, man. It's very, very odd. You know what they say, Harmon? Don't throw stones in glass houses.
A niche thing, right? Baldur's Gate 3 only sold itself by being overly sexualized and by being overly woke to appease game journalists.
It's kind of my thing, you know. How about new?
Harmon, how is Baldur's Gate 3 woke, bro? Why? Is it because you can do whatever you want, however you want, whenever you want? You can have relationships with whatever you feel like because they don't care, because they didn't want to limit anything, which is, good for them. They didn't force it. It's not forced. You don't know what you're talking about, Harmon. God, you're so damn dumb it hurts. God. Oh, I want to smash my head against a wall.
Like, when you take those two things away from it, it really, really, really has nothing going for it. And I think history, well, actually, right now, this isn't even a really historically thing. Like, right now, the fact that, like, Baldur's Gate 3 has had no real staying power.
Harmon, if the game has no staying power, then why are you bringing it up constantly? Constantly bringing it up. Why do you care about it so much if it, quote, has no staying power? If it has no staying power, you shouldn't be talking about it. You should have moved on to the next thing. But you can't because you know it does. Plus, if it had no staying power, it wouldn't have 100,000 players. God, you hurt so much. And that's just 100,000 on Steam. I don't know how much it has on PlayStation or Xbox because I don't know their numbers.
Really demonstrates a lot about how these people, quote unquote, people, right? These subhumans, they'll just come on to like, they'll get excited for a product, talk about it incessantly, like it's the best thing ever, and then like a year later they'll move on to like, other branded products, other licensed games, Space Marine 2 and Astrobot, I think are the two big things now. Actually, no, like both of them have fallen off already.
Harmon, Warhammer came out September 9th, and it has a maximum peak in the last 24 hours of 161,000 players. Max peak is 225,000 players. This is all on Steam because it's, also on consoles like the PlayStation and the Xbox. And it has sold over 2 million copies. And this is the 16th. So in 7 days, it has sold over 2 million copies. And if you don't believe me, here's a little statement. 2 million copies from what does it say? From IMD. Now let's go to Warhammer. 88,000 currently in game. And it was sold September 9th, 2024. What are you talking about?
They're going through the same process that like Baldur's Gate 3 did, where like it has that like period of relevancy and then they just move on to the next thing, right? Meanwhile, you have people like me who are still like, oh yeah, 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. That was awesome. Fire on Three Houses, one of my favorite games on Switch. I'm actually playing the DLC for the first time ever right now, right?
So just confirm to everybody that, if it was on the Switch, Harmon would be playing it. And if it's not, then that game is terrible. How dare it? How dare it not come to the Switch? And you called that one guy a shill? Really? Really, dude? Aren't you shilling right now? Aren't you getting, like, very much with the shill statements? No, just me? Okay.
Tears of the Kingdom is great. Super Mario Bros. Wonder is great. Recently I've had this epiphany that like Super Mario Advance 2, Super Mario World is like a really underrated port of a Super Mario World that really does a lot to give the game replay value and really like has a lot of quality of life improvements that really make the game feel completely different. Right, whether it's like the playable Luigi or like the Dragon Coin collecting thing, right? Like, Super Mario Advance 2 is an amazing game, right? That port is over 20 years old now, and I still like have found like a lot of value and by playing it.
Dude, Harmon, you didn't even try to hide the fact that you're a shill for Nintendo. That's tragic. I honestly feel sad for you, bro. I honestly do. You know, because at least you got to try to hide it sometimes, but you didn't. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it.
Like, do I feel the same way about Baldur's Gate 3? No. Do I feel the same way about Undertale? No. Do I feel the same way about like Mass Effect or Ultima? Like, no. Like, again, these products are only hyped up, they're only worshipped in order to distract the general population from the superiority of Nintendo.
Say it.
Fuck you.
After you say it.
You're really going to force me on this?
I'm at half-mast. I need to hear this.
Fine! You were right! Jump up your own ass and die!
Houston, we have no problems.
See, it would seem like if he didn't have it on the fucking Nintendo game, he doesn't like it. Wow, who would have thought? Huh. It's almost like Gar of Rage called you out on it. I'm now calling you out on it because it's ridiculous. There's just no way that you're going to state that Mass Effect, of all games, is worse than Nintendo products. I refuse to believe that you're that damn stupid. I can't. I can't believe that you're that damn stupid. Holy fuck. And you called another guy a shill? It's really weird. It's really weird for you to be calling somebody a shill, Harmon. It really is. It doesn't feel right. If you made it this far in the video, I do hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like. It does help this channel, as well as subscribing. Once I do hit 1,000 subs, I will be shaving my head bald. Like bald, like The Rock bald, or Stone Cold bald. I do also stream every single day on Twitch. I do hope you guys will maybe come give it a chance. It does happen every day. Currently, it's at 6 p.m. Central. I do have a schedule posted in that stream, times, and how long they usually last. Not only always does it last that time, or if it does end up changing, I do post in the community tab, and that's how it works. Take care, everybody.